I was making a new post on my band site here and noticed some interesting behavior with the images. I'll go back to the WordPress dashboard here and taking a look at one of the images that I was using, I noticed that it was pretty large, larger than I like to use on websites for any size image. This one ended up being 370 kilobytes, and I was wondering why. And so I did a little research and found about this new image scaling feature that came to be in the new version of WordPress at 5.3 a while back. And I've known about this, but there was an interesting behavior that you might want to be aware of. If you can see in my media library here, I've just got the image open in the WordPress media library, and it shows the image file name and then dash scaled.jpg. WordPress will create a scaled image if you upload an image that's longer than 2560 pixels on the long side. And this is designed so that if you or a client uploads, say, a full resolution image from a camera that's, say, 5,000 pixels wide, that's likely to be 5 or 10 megapixels and way too big for a website. However, when I uploaded this original file, you can see that it is linked right here, original image, I was surprised that my file size got much larger, even though WordPress was scaling it down. So let's just take a look. If I right-click this link to the original and open it in a new tab, we can see that here's the image, and then I've got this little extension for Chrome that shows me image info. And so you can see that this is a 2600 pixel wide image, but it's only 180K. And I'm fine with 180K. 2600 is a little big. I usually try to make my largest images 2048 pixels wide at the largest. Often on this site, I'm using 1600 width pixels. But I found this image and was using it because it was only 180K. So what WordPress did was it brought this image in and it said to itself, well, okay, this image coming into the library is bigger than 2560. This image is, however big that was, it was 2600 or so. 2676. So it said, okay, we're going to scale it back down to 2560. And what happened? Well, it went from 180K to 370K. And so this is a case where you definitely don't want to have a picture that has been compressed and is slightly larger than 2560. That is a bad idea because WordPress is going to quote unquote compress the image or scale it, and they're actually making it twice as large, and so not a good idea. So what I did was I took this image and I went to my original image, and I wanted to keep it below 200K like I like to do, and I put it in a compression software, a relatively new image compression utility online is by Google. It's called the squoosh.app, squoosh.app. And you'll get to this screen. And so what I did was I just found my image. Here's my original Bluebird Bloomington image at 183K. If I just drag it over into the area here, it'll show me some controls on the right side inside of the Squoosh app. And so what do I want to do? I want to resize it. At this time, I don't really want to compress it anymore because it's pretty small. But if I click resize, it'll give me a size indicator here. And so I had decided to bring it back down to 1600 pixels. And once I've done that, let me turn that back on. Once I've done that, I can look at the before and after by sliding this slider back and forth. On the left is the original image at 183K, and on the right is the new image at 143 at this quality of 75% using the Moz JPEG compression engine. And looking at the difference between the two, there's really not a whole lot of difference at all. So then all you do is you click this download button down here, and it downloads that new compressed or resized image for you. And then I uploaded that into the media library. So if I could just close this and go back to this image here, here's the new version. I had actually compressed it to 179K at 1600 pixels by 860. A much better size as far as the file size for loading on a website. So I hope that helps. Learned something about Squoosh from Google, which is at squoosh.app, and also the big image handling that was released in WordPress 5.3. You can read about that here at make.wordpress.org. I found this just by searching for the word scaled in the wordpress.org search bar over here. And I also found out from this, from another help ticket inside of the website, that there is a plugin in case you want to disable that functionality within WordPress. For example, if you had a photography site and you needed to display original images, for example, or you just don't have a good way to compress images on your own. And there are other plugins that can handle this kind of thing. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you next time. Come on and visit us at community.leveragewp.com. See if that's a nice group that you'd like to join. We'd love to have you answer questions like this all the time. All right, see you next time.